This is an application question dealing with rational exponents, which is the rate of return on compound interest. So if you have compound interest, we know that compound interest is what happens when we make money not only on the principal that we have invested, but also on the interest that we earn. Every time interest is compounded, it adds to the value that we're earning interest on. So we're actually earning interest on interest on interest on interest, etc. So the more often something is compounded, the better. Now, the compound interest formula has been reworked to isolate the R. So right now we have R, which is of course our rate of return, equals A, which is of course our total value, what we have in the account after however many years, divided by P, however much we invested initially, to the 1 over T, T of course meaning time, and then we're going to subtract 1 from that. So we're going to use that formula to find the annual rate of return on $5,000, which grew to $6,894.21 after 6 years. So let's see what this looks like. We're finding R. A is our accumulated value. 5,000 would be our P, our principal, and that's to the 1 over 6 because it was 6 years, and then minus 1. So we're going to use our calculator to divide this value, and here's a clue for you. When you're doing this, it's very tempting to take whatever that value is, which of course will be a decimal, and then round it off. Don't round it off. So when I divide, I'm going to keep this value in my calculator. Now, when I divided that value, I got 1.378842. I'm going to leave that whole value in my calculator, and then I'm going to take it to the 1/6 power. In my calculator, I'm going to take whatever that number was. I'm going to find the button that looks like this, and then, depending on what your calculator looks like, I don't have a fraction calculator because I'm using my iPhone. So I'm going to then put a parenthesis and then 1 divided by 6 and then close the parenthesis and then press enter, and that's going to give me that value. When I did that, I got 1.05499998, etc. minus 1. They're taking 1 away because that's going to find the actual rate that it grew by. So the 1 gives us just the amount of the principal, and then this would be our rate. It doesn't specify what they want us to round our rate to, so we're going to say our rate is about 0.055. So about 0.055, which is of course 5.5%. So typically they'll ask you to round to the nearest tenth of a percent or whatever. Here's one for you to try. Find the rate of return. In this case, again, go ahead and find that to the nearest tenth of a percent. We should have our problem set up like this. So I have the A value on the top, P on the bottom, to the 1/3, which of course means the cubed root, and then minus 1. The value I got in my calculator was 1.06499, etc. I'm going to take 1 away from that, and then I'm going to round. And so my rate of return is 0.065, which is 6.5% rounded to the nearest tenth of a percent.